Hey, I'm Gary Dawson with another Benchworks podcast video. This time it's a tech version, and we're going to do a simple demonstration of a Milgrain type texture tool in Grasshopper using Rhino 8. I hope you enjoy it. If you get anything out of it, please give it the big thumbs up and subscribe for more content. In fact, selected. You can control copy it, or however it is on a Mac, unselect it, control V, and you've copied that parameter. Now we don't really need two curves on here, but what I'm going to build for you now is a very simple Grasshopper formula to make on the fly Milgrain, right? So we start with a curve. We start with a curve. And then there's another way that you can get objects here on the screen, and that is double click and then just start typing in. And the word I was going for here is divide. And what we want is divide curve. So we'll select that. And the divide curve command is here and here. All right. We're going to go back to parameters. Okay, divide curve. And then uh, we want a sphere on here because those are going to become the elements of our uh, Milgrain, our Milgrain set. Okay, so I'm not sure where surface, it might be under surface and freeform analysis primitive. Okay, here it is, sphere. So I could have double clicked and just started typing it in, and it doesn't matter which tab I'm in. I could have started by the time we went to C it probably would have been part of the selection thing here, but let's just drag it down here. So we want a sphere. And we'll notice here that this is giving us a sphere, but that's not how we're going to use it. The, the next thing I'm going to do actually is create a curve here, and I'll just do a simple circle from the origin. All right. Now we want this curve to be associated with this curve. And so if we right click here, we go to set one curve and we select that curve. And now watch what happens. See how the curve turns green and this turns green when this is selected? That tells you which curve this is associated with. And now in Grasshopper, this curve parameter is associated with the curve that we made in Rhino. Now it starts getting interesting. We can connect this curve to the division. Oh, let me I'm going to show you something else here that's kind of handy and I like to use it. If you double click up here, I don't know where to find this in the command, in the iconic command structure in the menu, but I know if you type in bifocal and select this and just leave it up there, bifocal is active. It gives you a label for each of these parameters that you have up here, or maths. Is that where divide curve was? No, where do we find that divide curve? I don't even remember where we found that. Oh, curve. That's where we found it right here. Okay. I'm going to go back to params. Okay, so notice how I connect this curve with the divide curve operation, right? And notice how now we have divided this curve into points. If we connect the points to the base function here, then those points will generate a sphere. Pretty cool, right? Okay, now it gets even better. We can maneuver these around also. And notice, this is selected, the spheres light up green, this is selected, the curve lights up green. Okay, so now we want to be able to control how many division points we have on this curve, and we also want to be able to control how big the spheres are. So we type in, I'm going to double click here, and I'm going to start typing number. We want a number slider, all right? And if we right click here, we can set some values. Okay, so I think values, we always want at least one, right? And let's say we want as many as 200 of these guys, and then we commit changes. And now watch what happens when I just slide this. Oops, come on. Oh, it's not connected. We have to connect this, oops, with count. And so one shows up now, and come on. Well, Rhino loves to make a fool of me. Okay, somehow values, somehow the max didn't get changed. What did I say? Let's make 200 and then commit changes. Okay, so now this slider, values, why didn't this max 200? There we go. Did you see how I clicked on the little green arrow there? And now I commit those changes, and now this better work. Whoop, yeah. See how now that will populate this curve with as many points as I want just using the slider, all right? So now we need, I'm going to control copy, control V, another number slider. I'm going to back out on this. And let's hook this one up to the radius. Boop. But we got to change our values here now, right? Values. The minimum value is going to be, and we're working in millimeters here, the minimum value is going to be a radius of 0.1. Oops. And I'm going to little check mark here. The maximum value, come on. Notice how, too, you can roll these things. Not that that's all that valuable. Come on. That one wants to be 0.2, and we're working a radius here. Let's do, well, let's do a 1 millimeter radius, and we'll commit to that change, right? And then we'll commit those changes. And now notice how the size changes. Okay, I'm gonna change one value here. And the oops value, come on. I'm going to make the maximum value 2.5. Okay, and commit. And now we can, up to 2.5 millimeter radius, that's a 5 millimeter sphere. All right, so there's your automatic Milgrain tool. So let's see this in practical application here. Um, I want to bring this one up. Oops. Okay, and I'm going to open Grasshopper in this one. And looky here. Okay. So, so the presupposition here, I already have this made. The presupposition here is we want to put Milgrain around here. So first, in order to do, we could use edge curves, but I'm going to extract an isocurve from this surface. So in the command line here, extract isocurve from this surface, and I'm going to zoom way in here, and I'm going to put this sort of towards the outside edge, right? Enter. Now that's still, my isocurve is still lit up, in other words, selected. So we're going to right click over here and set one curve. And look, there comes our Milgrain. And now we can begin to adjust this down. Oops. I'm going to make those a little bit smaller, maybe. Okay, to an acceptable Milgrain size for this application, right? And now we'll slide this up to populate it to look a lot more like Milgrain. Okay, here's the final thing you need to know about this. And that is that these spheres only exist hypothetically right now. When they're in red, they show you what this is going to look like when you bake. Oops, excuse me. Right click over here, and you have to bake them. In other words, just like baking a pie. And then you can select what you want to call it. You can select, let's see, it seems like you could select the layer that the Milgrain goes on. Yeah, here you go. You could put them on any of these layers, but notice default is kind of gray here. That means that they're going to go on the default layer when I push OK. And now you can basically close Grasshopper, and that Milgrain exists. It actually exists in Rhino right now. Well, I hope you liked that and got something out of it. If you did, please like it and subscribe for more interesting content. Really appreciate your support. Thanks for joining me.